Welcome to all the students present over in the session. Today we are going to start the second unit. The second unit is the first lecture with the second unit. It is introduction with plant and plant location and plant types. That is the first lecture. Now, the second unit completely is connected to plant, types of plant, plant location, statistical quality control, all are been in the second unit as such. Okay. Now, coming to the first lecture, we would have a topic that is plant, introduction to the plant, plant location and types of the plant. These are in the first unit. Now, before going into the session, we shall understand what is about a plant location. A location is a place where a company or an organization is going to establish the infrastructure. Now, as we all know that infrastructure is, once we have been established, it would become difficult in terms of again changing over a place as such. So, that is the reason we should understand about the plant location in depth before we start any organization or infrastructure or manufacturing unit. Because once we have done it, that means once we have invested the money in terms of infrastructure, we may face difficulties in terms of changing over the places as such. Now, while deciding or while having a decision upon the place, we also have the understanding of that what are the implications of deciding the location and what way it is beneficial in deciding that particular location as such. There are n number of parameters in deciding the location, but we would consider majority of the location parameters are beneficiary at that particular location as such. And example to such type of scenario, if I take an example with related to Tata Nano, all of you would have known about the particular car company, that is Tata Nano. Now, Tata Nano initially it established its manufacturing unit in West Bengal, right. While establishing in the manufacturing unit at West Bengal, the people over there and the government over there supported them. But as it went on over a time period, the local people started agitation upon the manufacturing unit and they demanded for more money from the people or the company as such. So, when people started agitating, the government also supported the local people, and because of such type of a scenario, Tata Nano has winded their infrastructure from West Bengal and moved on to the other states. Okay. Now, what is that it is going to imply in that, or what is the effect it is going to be? The Tata Nano car, while it had a launch, before the launch, the designing process and all, it had a decision to launch the product at 1 lakh rupees. Since this is one of the impact of moving from one particular location to other location after almost constructing the plant equipment manufacturing 70 to 80% in that particular location. So, that all cost had been imbibed on the new project where they have been started in a new state, and this was also one of the reason why Tata Nano car was not able to give as per the design or the price factor which they have been decided as such. I hope you would have understood with related to this example. Now, going into the process of introduction, the first point we need to understand about the introduction is facility location and geographic site. Facility location is a place, right, is a place where the company is going to establish the infrastructure, right. And why we call this a facility? Because it is an area or it is an location where it is converting the raw material in the form of a finished good. That is why we call it as a facility location, right. Again I am repeating, facility location. Why do they call as a facility location is because they convert the raw material into a finished good in that particular locality as such. That is why it is called as facility location. Now, facility location and the geographic site. Geographic site, the area where they have been deciding to establish the manufacturing unit is what is called as a geographic site. Now, that geographic site should have a number of benefits to establish the infrastructure over there, right. That is the first parameter which we need to consider in the plant location. Second, managers of both service and manufacturing organization must weigh many factors assessing the desirability of a particular site, including proximity to customers and suppliers. Means, when the managers are deciding about the decision on the layout of the particular location, they need to give the consideration with related to suppliers and as well as the customers as such. Why? Suppliers are the one who would be supplying the raw material to the organization in terms of converting the product, and customers are the one who would buy the product once it is been in the form of a finished product as such. So, both are important because suppliers are the one who would provide it to convert it, and the customers are the one who are in the support of generating the revenue to the organization as such. So, as both are important, the whoever is been involved in deciding the location or whoever is involved in taking up a decision on the location to be decided, they need to give the consideration or they also need to give an important parameters about the customer and the supplier as such, right. Now, coming to the third point, it is location conditions, right. Location conditions are mostly connected to which one is? It is connected to the tangible and intangible factors in deciding the plant location, right. Now, tangible, it is about the freight cost, production cost and all, and intangible, it is about reliability, frequency, security and quality and nature. These are all the intangible one. So, while deciding about the decision upon the plant location, we also have to consider about the tangible and intangible factors. Intangible factors are the more important to be considered along with the tangible parameters. Intangible parameters are also to be given consideration. Okay. Now, if we understand the overall introduction of the plant location, right, the first parameter, it is about the facility location and the geographic site geographical location site as such. Second, it is about the managers taking up the decision with connected to customers and supplier. And the third one, we need to give the consideration for tangible as well as intangible factors. Okay. Now, if to recollect the introduction parameter, right, I am putting it up. First one, it is about the facility location, right, facility location as such. Facility location is the first one, right, which we need to give consideration, and the second one, it is about the customers and the suppliers, and the third one, it is about the tangible and intangible, factors. Now, these are the three which we need to consider while taking up a decision with related to plant location as such. Okay. Now, right. Now, coming to the next topic, that is plant location. The factors influencing the plant location.
the factors influencing the plant location. Now, while we see the factors influencing the plant location, we have the two classified factors. One is general location factors and the second one is specific location factors, right. Two broad classification, that is the general and second one specific. Specific factors, location factors. General factors are applied to all, or it is in application to all, either it is a manufacturing or it is a service organization. But in case of specific location, it has only to the manufacturing or it has only to the service as such. So, this are only towards the manufacturing and these are only to the service. Both cannot have a same kind of parameters. Okay. Now, the understanding of the general factors, under the general factors, we have general factors for all the types of organization with uncontrollable factors and controllable factors, right. Uncontrollable factors and controllable factors. Under the uncontrollable factors, we are not having, that means the organization is not having the control upon this all factors. That is what is the importance, right. That is what is the importance. The organization doesn't have the control on all these factors, right. That is why it is called as uncontrollable factors. I would explain in detail. Now, under the uncontrollable factors, the first one is government policy. Now, the government would have a regular change. Once it would be a UPA and other time it could be an NDA government as such, right. Now, the different governments which they come into the existence of controlling the country, they have their own strategies of enhancing the economy. While that time each government have their priority of industries. Say for example, if one government is giving priority to agriculture sector, then the next government who may come into the ruling, they may give an importance to a manufacturing sector. So, what does that happen? Once when it is given an, right, once when it is given an importance to agriculture sector, at that time the government policies would be favoring the manufacturing unit. But later on, when the other government comes, since their priority is a manufacturing sector, they would face some difficulties in terms of running the organization or the priority sector companies as such. That is what we say, that is the reason why we say that government policies are under uncontrollable level, which cannot be controlled by the in-house organization members or employees as such. Okay. Now, coming to the second one, climatic condition. Climatic condition. Climatic condition, the nature is one which you cannot control, and because of nature there is a very much implication of the effect on the organization. Example, if you see the seasonal side, if I take about a steel industry, if it is during the rainy season, normally the sale on a steel does reduce as such, or this sale of a steel get reduced during that particular seasonal. Why? Because it is a difficult, or it would become difficult in terms of the construction of the infrastructure as such. So, that is why it would become difficult in that particular climatic condition, and the sales to that particular industry will come down during that particular seasonal as such. Now, if I say the climatic condition, if you see that in the organization, the sales of or revenue generation will not be consistent. It will vary from month on to month or quarter to quarter. Quarter, you know, there are 4 quarters, right? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. There may be a change in the sales revenue based upon the seasonal effects or based upon the climatic effects or conditions as such. That is also an effect in terms of the location, plant location setup as such. And related to climatic condition with related to manufacturing location establishment, we say that if the company wants to establish, the infrastructure, right, say for steel plant. Now, steel plant, the purpose of the plant will be to create a molten iron, and based upon that molten iron, it will provide different structure of the iron rods as such. Now, if the location chosen is somewhere in Antarctica or Arctica, now that locations will not be suitable for establishing a steel plant as such, because in normal condition itself, right, in normal condition they need to heat the vessel or boiler to a high temperature, whereas in case of that particular area like Antarctica or Arctica, they need to increase the temperature level at more higher, where it may become a non-cost effective at that particular establishment of locations as that is the climatic conditions. Now, supporting industries, the supporting industries are what? The one which are helpful in terms of making the organization or establishing that particular location as such. Now, we may have a control on our organization, but we cannot control the organization which are under the support level. Example, suppliers will come under the support level, right? Suppliers will come under the support level. You cannot force the supplier to establish at the location where you have established the organization as such. That means, wherever we have established our organization, we cannot expect, right, we cannot expect the suppliers to establish their infrastructure in that locality as such, right. Now, coming to the next one, community attitude and community infrastructure. Now, community attitude and community infrastructure is also not under the control, Example of community attitude, as I said that once the West Bengal public had accepted the initiation of Tata Nano in their particular state, but later on they had been made them more demand and they were been not convinced in that particular locality. So, the people moved from, that is Tata Nano car moved from that particular locality. That is not under your control, right. And similarly, community infrastructure. Community infrastructure is what? Now, when a company is wanting to establish somewhere, newly it is going to establish. Since it is going to establish newly, the people may be, that means the employees who are going to work in that particular organization may be requiring more kind of facilities, like for staying with the family members, school facilities for their children, hospital facilities for their family members. All such type of need may be required for an employee to establish a plant or plant location in some area as such. Now, if the locality infrastructure is good, that means if the area has been developed one near to the location where it is going to establish, that will fetch in terms of making the company location to be established as such. Now, we can see that if in case of the employees more, if they are willing to go for oil industries as such, or place where they want to manufacture or construct an oil rigging or oil digging as such. Now, they know that the oil infrastructure has to be in depth sea levels or sea areas as such. Okay? Now, you cannot find the community infrastructure in that locality as such. You cannot find the community infrastructure in that locality as such. So, what would happen? Because of that, the employees showing the interest towards that particular companies or industries are comparatively low when compared to the software industries. Software industry, you have a community infrastructure very, very high, because you are establishing an organization where there is a skilled people, where you have been most developed or urban areas or other highly developed
locations as such. Because of that, employees show interest towards their particular companies or industries as such. That is the reason why these all are said to be as under the uncontrollable levels as such. So, I said this, all these are uncontrollable factors, right? Now, as uncontrollable factors, it will become difficult for the organization in terms of controlling them. They do not have the controlling parameter at all, right? Now, what is that they can control and how effectively they control will impact the uncontrollable factors. Let us see. The first one, under the proximity to markets. Now, proximity to markets, establishing of the plant location will be very near to the market. Why? Because once the product is ready, it should be made available to the market. Market is nothing but a place where buyer and seller are involved. Now, wherever the buyer is more involved, that is a fetching for the seller. Wherever the buyer are more involved, that is fetching for a seller. So, definitely that leads to the proximity. Now, who needs to decide this? The company needs to decide whether it is near to the market or near to the availability of the market or not, because market is nothing but the demand. Now, if the company is locating the infrastructure very far away from the demand, that is an effect to directly the organization, and it will affect the revenue also if it does not establish the market or establish the location near to the market. Now, it is under the control of the company, right? Whether to establish or where to establish, are we going to establish the location near to the market or not, right? Now, coming to the second one, that is supply of materials. Supply of materials is what? The supply of materials is nothing but the people who are suppliers and supplying the raw materials to the organization as such. Now, suppliers are under the control if they are made and regular supplying to the organization in the form of an agreement, right? In the form of an agreement. That means they establish their supplying of raw materials and they establish the plant location. Suppose if this is a location, the suppliers also will establish their supplying unit nearby, right? So, what is that happening? Location is near to, that is supplier's location is near to the unit of plant location. Because of that, it becomes easy of getting the raw material from the suppliers at very shortest duration as such. Okay. Now, coming to the transportation facilities, right? Now, under the transportation facilities, what we see is the employees or the worker, right? The employees or the workers, they come to the company to work, right? They come to the company to work. Now, while they are establishing that particular location, they need to see that whether there are transportation facilities. If the transportation facilities is not there, right, it becomes difficulty for the employee to come to the organization on time as such, because misleading of that time may have an impact in the overall plant operation. So, that is why the transportation facilities will or under the control on the location as such, plant location as such. So, establishing that plant location near to the transport will make the convenience of employees accessing the transport system as such. Okay. Now, coming to the infrastructure availability, as said that infrastructure availability, it is with related to the schools near to the plant location, facilities of staying with the near to the location, and other facilities which are near to the location as such, right? If the location is been established, if the plant location is been established somewhere far away in a reserved location, then you cannot establish this infrastructure availability near to the plant location as such. So, ultimately it will become difficult. So, it is under the control of the plant location as such, whoever or whatever the location we are deciding upon. Now, labor and wages,
The labor and wages are the other controllable factors.
Because if you need the skilled employees, you need to establish the location in an urban area, or if you need the semi skilled or very less skilled, you need to establish the plant location somewhere in a semi urban or a rural location for the need of such kind of labor. Okay, you can see that the construction of the brick, right, or the construction of the cement bricks, mostly the unskilled, right, or semi skilled labor are being utilized. And where do you establish that units? You establish somewhere far away from the location of the city as such. Why? Because availability of labor is comparatively higher at a far away location of the cities with related to semi skilled and unskilled labor. And wages, if you are not paying an high wages or whatever the wages you are paying, and to what extent you are deciding about the wages, it is under the control of the organization factors. Why? If you make a good wages described based upon the revenue which you have generated, the employees would get retained with the organization for more number of a duration. Suppose you are not able to pay the wages for the employees at a higher level, then definitely employees would not stay with you for a longer duration. So, it is also under the control of the organization location as such. Now, coming to the external economics and the capital, right? External economics and capital. External economics is what? The resources are limited, and whatever the resources you are trying to utilize, it is supposed to be used as at a maximum effectiveness and maximum efficiency, right. So, this utilization of the resources, if it is becoming more and more utilized, then ultimately you are supposed to change over to some other area or some other resources as such. An example of this, right, the construction or the location of the thermal power productions, thermal electricity power productions, say for example NTPC. NTPC has located the organization where the coal mines are available, right, where the coal mines are available. Now, coming to the economics over here, coal mines are limited. Over a period, you use the mines, slowly the mines will get exhausted. Now, as per the study, mines would get exhausted by the year of 2070. That means 2070, mines will get exhausted. So, what is that happening here? The economics of the utility of the mines are becoming very high. So, what is that it need to do? It has to look out for the mines either in some other country, or it has to look out for some other method of generating of the electricity if the mines are become very exhausted in all over the world as such. So, this is also an impact on external economics. To what extent it is available? Till that extent you can do the manufacturing, but once that has been gone away or it has come to the last level of the reserves of the material, you need to look out for some other change of the material or change of the manufacturing process as such. Now, coming to the last one, that is the capital. Under the capital we have, and it is under the controllable factor. Why? Because capital is the investment, and to what extent you are investing, how you are bringing that money, from where you are bringing that money, at what rate of interest you are bringing the money, all is been involved in the capital as such. Now, assuming that, right, assuming that if the capital, right, if the capital you are bringing is at high rate of interest, right, high rate of interest, then what will happen? Revenue generation pressure will be more high, because unless and until you generate more revenue, you would not able to bring the company in the profitable level as such. So, that is why the process of the capital is also under the controllable factors.
because this capital, whatever it is there, it is being limited or it is under the control, because you are the one who are going to in bringing that capital, it is left to the factors of the location as such. Have you understood this? Right. So, with related to the general factors we have understood, right, with related to the general factors we have understood the controllable as well as the uncontrollable factors, both we have been understood. Now, coming to the specific factors, now under the specific factors, as said that we have two major area of specification. One, it is related to manufacturing, and second one, it is related to service. Manufacturing is been, in this we have the factors which are only connected to manufacturing, and in service we have two which are only connected to service. We cannot interchange this, we cannot interchange this with related to service factors implementing in manufacturing and manufacturing factors implementing in service organization as such. And in the, they have a dominant factors and secondary factors. Similarly, we have the dominating factors and secondary factors in service organization also. They have a difference of application. They have a difference of application because in manufacturing we produce the product. In manufacturing we produce the product and the location depends upon the product. Whereas in case of service we produce or we do the process. So, process will be having a different kind of application in the service organization as such, right. So, these are the classification with related to general location factors and special location factors, specific location factors as such, right. So, we will go to the next slide. Right. Now, under the plant layout, right, we need to understand that what is the, right, what is the plant layout or what does the plant layout deals with. The plant layout deals with, right, plant layout deals with, right, allocation of adequate spaces, right, and work areas and the equipment and the working men, materials, other supporting activities. Now, why I have been mentioning this is, layout is the one, it is not decided by plant layout alone. Layout is been decided or the layout designing is been decided based upon the work areas, based upon the equipment which are going to install in the location, allocation of the adequate spaces, because adequate spaces means when the spaces are allocated, you need to provide the spaces and there should be a convenient of walking around the areas also. That is why it is called as adequate spaces as such. And people at working condition, they should not have a congestionness of working atmosphere. They should have a free area or free movement of the employees from one location or one area to the other area as such. Now, next to men, it is material and supporting activities. All these are the understanding of the plant layout, because layout when it is been designed, they are been designed based upon keeping in the thought or keeping in the mind that how the work areas are going to be, how the equipments are supposed to be installed, how the spaces are supposed to be utilized, how the raw materials are supposed to be applied or used, and what are the other supporting activities, and how much the men are supposed to be employed in the organization, all been involved in deciding upon the layout, right. Now, the basic theme behind the arrangement of work area is to produce the product economically, Understand? Again, I'm here representing it, product
economically,
the layout which we are establishing,
right? The layout which we are establishing, whatever the way you establish it.
for example, if I am applying this particular layout, right, if I am applying this particular layout which is a
Regular product manufacturing,
same product manufacturing. Now, same product manufacturing, if you produce in this sequence, it will provide the product at the least cost,
at the
least cost. Now, suppose I am mentioning this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, right. Now, as mentioning this 1, 2, 3, if I am constructing at a different layout, first one is 1 and I am going to the fourth one, and from fourth if I am going to sixth, and again from sixth if I am coming to 7, and there I am coming to 2, what will happen? The layout which I have been established will not produce me economically produced
product as such. That means product will be produced.
Suppose in this case, if the manufacturing cost of the product is, suppose assume it 9 rupees 97, right, 97 paisa, right, 9 rupees 97 paisa. In this case, it will be more than 9 rupees 97 paisa, right.
So, what is that?
At any given point of time, instead of using this layout, if I use this layout with related to same product, I cannot produce the product economically. So, the importance of layout is to, right, produce the product economically, right. Now, coming to the definition given by renowned author, right, according to Moody, that is,
Plant layout is a plan
for an optimum arrangement from, right, for an
optimum arrangement, that is the most best arrangement which can be done, which would
provide economically, product production economically.
That is the identification which we need to do while we are establishing the plant layout as such.
So, arrangement of what? It is about the arrangement of facilities, right. It is about the arrangement of facilities, and it is about the arrangement of facilities, it is about the storage space, the materials handling, the equipment and other supporting, what we have seen here,
right, what we have seen there.
All this are being arranged in such a manner, as we have drawn a diagram, right,
the same as we have arranged all the raw material processing in a sequencing manner, that will provide the
most optimum arrangement, that will provide the
most optimum arrangement as such. Okay.
Now, this optimum level,
right,
the plant layout optimum level will enable us to produce the product most economically.
So, to what extent we are making the
plant layout optimum level, the economic level of the product can be
manufactured, right.
Now, all right. Now, we will go to the next one in depth. It is the plant layout and the objectives of the plant layout as such. Now, under the objectives, you can see that the primary goal of the plant layout is to maximize the profit, as such. Okay. So, this is the maximizing of the
primary goal of the
plant layout. And what to maximize? It is to maximize the profit.
How?
By arranging all the plant facilities, in the most optimum level, that we have seen just now in the previous slide, right. So, optimum level of the plant location will provide us the maximization of the profit with making the arrangement of all the facilities, plant facilities at the optimum level. So, that will provide the maximization of the profit. That is what we have seen with related to economically product manufacturing. The most highest level of product producing economically can be done by optimum utilization of the plant facilities as such. Okay. Now, we would come to the objectives of the plant layout one by one, that is streamline the flow of material, right. In streamline, what is that we need to streamline is the order of the plant in the sequence, how it is going to go on. That means through the plant. For example, as said that, right. Now, I said that if this is 1 look area and this is 2 and this is 3, I decide what is that it should happen here, what other activity, what is the second activity should happen here, and what is the third activity should happen here. Now, that sequencing, right, sequencing is what is called as streamline. That sequencing is what is called as streamline, because this streamline will make the overall plant layout to arranged in the, right, to be arranged in the plant facilities optimally, right, to be arranged in the most highest level of optimum level as such. So, for that, very first step or very first objective is to streamline the sequences or work which is being carried out in the organization as such. Okay. Now, facilitate the manufacturing process. By streamlining, that is the first one, by streamlining you would be able to facilitate the manufacturing process. How? It is a sequence, it is becoming a sequence. That means after 1 you will go to the second level, after second level we will go to the third level. That is happening, that is we are making a facilitation of the process, right, how it is going to go from the order of 1 and similarly continue from order of 1 as such. That is the second objective as such. Third objective, maintain high turnover of in process inventory, high turnover of in process inventory. Now, what do we mean by in process inventory is, see, inventory are of 3 types. First one, it is raw material. Second one, it is work in progress. And third one, it is finished goods. Now, work in progress, right. Now, this is what is called as the inventory in process, right, inventory in progress. So, inventory in process, inventory is what is called as work in progress. So, why work in progress, right? Work in progress is what? In between the raw material and finished good, we call that as a work in progress. That means before the raw material state, right, before the raw material state and after the finished goods, in between whatever the stock is there, in between whatever the stock is there under the manufacturing unit, all that we call as an work in progress. That means it is not in the form of a raw material and it is not yet become a finished goods. It is in a semi state of a raw material. That is why it is called as a work in process. Now, this work in progress, right, will have a high inventory level. Now, having that high inventory level, will provide us a huge level of requirement at task. That means in process, suppose if we are having high inventory, what will happen? the cost is involved in maintaining the inventory. Cost is involved in maintaining the inventory as such. So, when the cost is involved in maintaining the inventory, ultimately what will happen, the inventory, if it is been reduced, right, if it is been reduced, then it will lead to more better economical progressing of maximizing of the profit, because the inventory stock becoming high and high, then maintenance cost will become high. Maintenance cost will become high by having the high inventory as such. Having the high inventory will lead to maintenance cost at a high level. Because of this maintenance cost becoming high, you may lose or we may lose the maximization of the profits as such. Now, that is the reason we need to have the high, maintaining that turnover in such a level that the stock is maintained, and similarly it does not have an effect upon the maintenance cost. If it is becoming more, then the profitability will be have a decrease in level. So, that we need to understand as such. That is the third objective, right. Now, coming to the fourth, minimizing materials handling and cost. Material handling, that is what we have understood right now. Handling cost will become high, that is the maintenance cost. If the inventory is becoming high, then maintenance of that particular or handling of that particular inventory will become high as such. Now, there is an understanding, right, there is an understanding that if we have the cost, if we have an understanding of two costs, one, it is the carrying cost and the other one is ordering cost. That means when we are ordering more and more, when we are ordering more and more, that means we are increasing the stock. Stock is being increased. So, when you are purchasing more bulk in number, definitely the order cost will come down. The order cost will come down. But when the stock is becoming more and more, the maintenance cost, that is the carrying cost, will become high as such. So, both are inversely proportional. That area where we need to understand is where we call as the intersection of the carrying cost and ordering cost as such, right. This particular parameter will come in depth in the later session. Now, coming to the minimum materials handling and the cost, as said that as the inventory becomes more, then what will happen, it will have an impact upon the high cost as. So, we need to maintain as a less. Now, coming to the last one, effective utilization of the men and other parameters. What effective utilization is? The utilization of men and equipment and space should be the highest utilized without any, right, without the given here the arrangement, right, the arrangement of all the parameters, right, arrangement of all the parameters in such a way that the plant facilities are being used at the maximum optimum level. By using that, the objective of the plant location is to utilize the space, utilize the materials, utilize the men at the optimum level, right. That is the way you are supposed to establish the location with the internal parameters. So, internal parameters, you have some spaces for working, you have some spaces for working, all these spaces are involved with what? This all spaces are involved with what all? It is involved with the raw material, or we can say that is a material, and we are involved with men, and we are also involved with the space. This is all called as a space. Now, all this material, men and, right, men, material and space should be utilized in such an effective or optimum level by making the application or making the utility of the organization in such an highest level of state as such. That is what the fifth objective is with related to plant location. Now, coming to the next objective, it is make effective utilization of the cubic space, make effective utilization of the cubic space. Now, previously we have seen the diagrammatic representation of a small location. In that location, we have put different boxes inside it. Now, that boxes are called as a cubical spaces with related to different activities or different process. Now, those different activities which are being given with a cubical space has to be utilized with the highest level of effectiveness as such, which has to be used at the highest level of effectiveness as such. Now, coming to the next objective, it is flexibility of manufacturing operations and arrangements, right. Now, what is the flexibility? Flexibility here, it deals with the location which is not a rigid one, the location which is not a rigid one. Now, what do we mean by the rigid one? In case, suppose if I have a location here, if I have set up in this manner whatever the space is. Now, if these are fixed and it is unchangeable or uninterchangeable, now that becomes a difficult in terms of plant location. That means there is no flexibility, it becomes no flexible. And what is the advantage in case of flexibility? If the flexibility is not there, then the location becomes an single oriented location and it has to completely get dismantled and been made to some other kind of a product or process layout as such. So, that becomes a cost implied as such, a cost, more of cost involved as such, right. Now, coming to the next objective, provide for employee convenience and safety and comfort. Now, location which has been established, the location which is going to be established, that location has to provide comfort, safety and overall in terms of conveniences. Convenience is what? Convenience is about making the employee move from one location or cubic space to other cubic space without any hurdle. Now, that is what is called as convenience as such. Now, when an employee can move from one cubic or one location of a space to other location without any hurdle, then it states to be as an highly convenience as such. Along with convenience, it also need to have a safety and also need to have a comfort. Now, safety and comfort, along with that, if the convenience is been ensured in the plant layout, now that plant layout can be said to be as a effective plant layout as such, because in manufacturing unit, if these three are missing, then what would happen is there is an implication of a hazardness. That means there is a kind of a feeling of unsecured or unsafety. Because of that, what will happen? There may be some kind of a disaster or accidents getting happen in that particular organization as such. Okay. Now, coming to the next one, minimum investment in equipment. Now, what do we mean by minimum investment in equipment is, if the investment made is a minimum level and whatever the equipment is required is being invested in a minimum level, that is a good sign as such. Because if I take one example, today the need of the organization, right, if today the need of the organization in the manufacturing unit, assume that, right, if the need of the organization is ERP software, assume that ERP software, right, definitely there is a development in the requirement of a software over a period with related to artificial intelligence. Okay. Now, if I have implemented this ERP in the year of, right, assume that it is been implemented in the year of 2005, assume that it is been implemented in the year of 2005, and I need to implement the artificial intelligence, mandatorily it may become in the year of 2030. Just because I am supposed to implement the artificial intelligence in the future, if I implement the artificial intelligence in the year of 2005 itself, the cost involved, that is the investment becomes, and in comparing to this 30 investment, it becomes very high level of investment for implementing the artificial intelligence in the year of 2005 itself. Not only that, implementing of that artificial intelligence in 2005, along with it, it becomes an non-viable solution also, because still the market or still the demand is not there for artificial intelligence during the years of 2005 as such. That is why whatever the process or progress is there, we need to make that high level of progress only to certain duration. That means the lookout for anticipation, Suppose if I am in the year of 2020, my vision should be for a period of either 15 to 20 years, not more than that. That means whatever the technology is going to come in the next 15 to 20 years, only to that level I need to make the investment. If I make beyond that, my investment cost will become high. If I make beyond that, my investment cost will become high as such. So, why? Because my vision is becoming, instead of, right, my vision is become, instead of 2035 to 2040, it is becoming around 2060, which I cannot anticipate what would be the state of situation in the coming near future as such. That is the objective of 9th as such, right. Now, coming to the next one, minimum overall production time. The layout in the organization should be established in such a way that the overall production of the product is becoming at the shortest duration, or the product which is manufactured in the layout has to be provided at the least time duration, That is what the objective states that. That means establishment of that layout, or the establishment of the layout should be in such a way that the production of the product should be at the least possible time duration. That is what we say as a minimum overall production time. Now, coming to the next one, maintain flexibility of arrangement and operations. What flexibility of arrangement and operation? The flexibility, it is that, right? The flexibility, it is that, as I said that. Now, if I represent this one, it is different types of activities, right? If it is different types of activities, I should be able to make this particular one to work over here, and similarly 2 to work over here. What does that mean? This is called as a flexibility, and also the operation as such, arrangement flexibility is there and the operation flexibility definitely happens. That means if I am able to change over from one location to the other location, that becomes a flexibility, and along with the flexibility it becomes the arrangement of operations also in an easier manner, right. Now, that makes the flexibility makes to establish different products to be constructed. It makes different products to be manufactured with the layouts as such, right. That is the advantage in case of plant layout, right. Now, next to that, that is the last one, flexibility, right. Facilitate the organizational structure. What is that it facilitates? It facilitates the structure, and how it facilitates is, it facilitates the organization structure in understanding the sequencing of the material, sequencing of the manpower, and sequencing of the operations. All this sequencing will lead to formation of a very good structure. We can understand that where the actual production has been halted, or where the production is been having an deficiency, or where the production is having an impact as such. Now, this can be enabled by understanding the, right, making all these parameters will make us to facilitate the organization structure, and it ultimately enables us to work better towards the overall organization structure as such, right. We will